Aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say nay. Passes 5-0. Items 3 through 5 constitute a consent agenda of routine action items to be considered by one motion. Items passed unanimously unless a separate vote is requested by a board member. Item 3, approval of the minutes of the December 18, 2018 meeting. Item 4, approval of claims. Item 5, human resources, approval of memorandum of personnel transaction. I move approval of the consent agenda.
Second.
Motion by Wood, second by Ratty. All those in favor say aye.
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 Those opposed say nay. Passes 5-0. Do you have any reports on committee meetings? Hearing none, do we have any round 2 citizen concerns? Item 8, board concern. Sir? I do.
He's not on the board.
When's the next one? This does concern the board. Anyway, I did send out this weekend, the schedule of hearings, which start next Wednesday. You can see how they're listed. This is not in concrete. It can be adjusted if we see other, departments want to move back or whatever. Our public hearing will actually be on March 12th, 3 days before we have to certify it, which is the 15th to the auditor. We have the same amount of budget reviews. We did not do one December 19th like we did last year because we didn't have all the materials back. We didn't have it put together, so we're on January 2nd, would be next Wednesday. Question was raised, can we have budget hearings before the new supervisors are sworn in? We can go ahead and do it because it's the same people, so we're dealing with the same board. The only difference would be a difference potentially in chairman. So the question is, do we want to start early before? You're going to have to swear in at 4 o'clock. Do we want to start like at 2 o'clock? You can see the list we have. There's nothing really controversial there. The biggest potential would be medical examiner, but we've all kind of agreed a little bit that they need a raise in their services to the funeral homes, and we already budgeted that in. The rest of them are, there's nothing really controversial. Emergency management, there will be an improvement request there. I have included all the improvement requests in the budget so we know the worst case scenario if you approve the improvement request. The improvement requests amount to $500,000. So as we go along, we can either say we'll defer them to a later date and leave them in the budget till we see where we're at totally, or you're going to disallow them right there. We're going to go through them.
Right now, you have them included in each person's budget?
Yes, there's only 3 budgets affected, it'd be emergency services, conservation, and the sheriff's department. They're included in there. I have a separate line of improvement request. All the CIP is all back under the CIP budget, which is the individual offices requesting items and building services. But we do not borrow that money till the following year, which will be affecting our tax rate for 21.
Other question is, are you gonna have the effective tax totals starting?
Yes.
If everything was improved and kind of give us
Yes, we're gonna have a starting point like we did last year, where week by week, I'll give you an update on our tax asking and tax rates. I'll have a memo in your packet for Wednesday. Once I get it done, I'll send it out to all of you.
Thank you for doing that.
Yep. It's pretty helpful to see where we're at.
You mentioned the funeral. That's what we talked about the other day.
Yes, that's going, I think, from 400 to 500, yeah.
And Dennis, when is social services scheduled for currently?
Social service, I believe I have them I think they're toward the end here.
Do you have a date projected right now?
Ooh. I'll have to find out. I do have it here. Hang on a minute.
And just for the board, the only reason I'm asking is I had some conversations with Dawn Menser, and there's a Rolling Hills meeting tomorrow pending the weather, but her intention is to come and present that budget to the board, which will be a nice, refreshing thing. There's a CEO presence describing all the different ins and outs of the budget.
Tentatively, February 5th. So it gives us plenty of time for her to get things done with their region board, which will be part of next year, but unofficially aren't, but officially down the road we are. So it's kind of, yep, February 5th. Is there any problems with the schedule? Like I say, it can change as we go down the road here. But right now, we need to get started, so we keep the same pattern we had last year to get done. So we got, at the end, we'll have the 19th for finalization of budgets, for publication the 12th. So we got some leeway here, and on the 5th, there isn't a whole lot of budgets there, so we do have some leeway.
You're talking about 2 o'clock next week, you said?
Yes, 2 o'clock, all right with everybody.
And then would our intention be subsequently to have around 2 o'clock meetings? Is that?
Yes.
Yeah, it works for me, but whoever wants to share it to me, that's the
If we know there's a long list here with things that might take some time, we might go 1:30. But generally 2 o'clock. I don't want to start too early where we get done and you got to sit around a half an hour.
I prefer not to start at 4 since
Okay,
schedule's healthy.
okay. Generally, we can get the things done because that gives us 2.5 hours. And you'll have your budget book by Wednesday, but I'll give you a recap before that.
Okay.
So we start on
Sure.
the second.
Yep,
Sir.
next Wednesday at 2 o'clock.
Sir?
Yes, we've kind of gone back and forth as far as having the improvement request mixed in or at the end. I prefer it at the end. I don't know what everyone else thinks, though. I think it's not quite fair to some of them if they're approved during the general budget and then the others have to wait, you know.
But nobody's really approved, it's just tentatively in there until we approve the budget.
Correct. And I can tell you exactly what they are. There's 3 individuals they would like to hire in the sheriff's department. There's 2 in conservation and increase in pay, an additional quarter of a person in emergency services. So there's not a whole lot there.
We don't typically take up the same budget twice, so they're received, and as far as being approved in the final budget, it's fairly likely once they've been received.
Even though they're received, you leave them in there, but they're subject to change anytime you receive them anyway. But you need to know how much they're gonna cost you, and I can tell you exactly what they're gonna cost. And that's embedded in your total tax asking, so when you get down to the bottom line, you say, yes, we are gonna approve these, no, we are not gonna approve these.
What's the thinking then on item?
Well, the way we have been doing it is having an improvement request with the director at the time, and then we can bring it all back for budget review and, you know, have that list of what.
And I do have a breakout of the line item, it's a 1 line in the improvement request in each of those 3 budgets. So they'll be easy to either leave in or take out. But I just soon start high and then reduce it and start low, and then you come back and add a $500,000 back in. I think you should have it in at the beginning, so you know exactly where you're at if you would approve them. I don't like, feel good coming down to the end, and then all of a sudden we say, no, we got another $500,000 here to add back in, let's put it in at the beginning, and we know where we're at. But I can do anything the board wants to do.
I'd rather figure it on the high end myself, so. For worst case scenario, if you will.
Because there's several places we can reduce, potentially there's one maybe in county services. There's one in general basic fund where we might use some additional revenues there. There's places we can get it back down where it's pretty reasonable. But right now, everything, if we approved it as it stands today, they get their improvement request, we approve all CIP projects and all their operational costs. I think we have to start there, then whittle it down.
We good? Okay.
Okay, we'll start next week and I'll have books to you. They'll probably be ready Monday if you want to pick them up. And if you really don't want to, I don't blame you. The first ones aren't too bad. They're pretty easy. So,
Okay.
is that it? That's all I got.
Mr. Gill?
Just, I know we're all in agreement that the swearing in is at 4 o'clock. I remember with Judge Hoffmeyer.
Yep.
Monday? Tuesday.
Wednesday.
Wednesday, right?
You'll get there eventually. Go through the week.
Second day. Second day of January 2nd.
Yeah, January 2nd, so we start the meeting at 2, swearing in at 4, resume thereafter, or do we want to resume at 4:30?
Probably go right into, you do take a break, so you take pictures and that sort of thing, but then go into the organization.
Well, let's say as soon as practical, we'll resume the meeting after swearing in and pictures and such, and start again, okay. So,
As long as we make sure it's posted that way, that don't post it as 4:30, then we start early. All those YouTube viewers would miss it.
anything else, any other board concerns? We are adjourned.